Hey guys, I'm back with the Jeep today. It's hot, I'm on the floor, but there's a reason for it. So I took this car for a drive and everything was okay except for like a metal grinding noise, which is the input bearing, which is quite common on these vehicles. Normally go around about 70, 100,000 miles. They just wear out. They are basically this just wears out. It's around about 90 quid for just one bearing. So obviously we're going to change both because there's two in there. Quite easy to get to. A couple of bolts are a bit tricky, but very easy to work on as long as you've got the tools for it as well. But let's get stuck in, shall we? Right, so just under basically it's the left hand side passenger front wheel, you'll see the gearbox. Oop. My shoddy camera work. So that's the gearbox, and behind this plate, it's quite bright, isn't it? Behind this plate is the two input bearings. So let's get this, and obviously these bolts here are the tricky one, and then obviously this is your frame, so you can't exactly cut a hole in it to get your ratchet in there, so it has to be done by a spanner. A little tricky, so if you just lubricate it like I have and leave it, it should just come off pretty easy. So let's get this done. Let's get these undone. Before you start whisking all these bolts off, this one here you want to undo first, because this one is the drain plug for the gearbox. So just undo this one, drain your oil out, let that come down first, and then you can take the rest of the bolts off. For otherwise you'll end up taking this all off and it'll just pop out and off it comes. And basically you make a mess on the floor, and then we don't want that. This is how close it is to the frame. Look at that. Obviously I just popped it there, but it's not much room. Let's say these two are a bit of a pig to get them off. Like I said, I just lubricated it, left it overnight, popped some heat on it, just a tiny bit, not massive amount, just a little torch, and then it just cracked off nicely. Let's just get the other bolts off, shall we? So there we go. So these are the two bearings here. I've gone a little bit of a step forward already. I've taken the, see a little clip. So I've taken that one off already. To pull, you have a little retaining clip that goes around here. You don't have to take that off. It should pop off without it. So I think it's this one. So I'm just going to pop the cover off and see what's behind there. So yeah, there we go. I've just taken the cover off, and you can see that movement. Nice steady hand. I'll try and just. So that's giving me all the noises. So I'm going to have to pull that one out, and then obviously that one. So this is what's giving me the little grinding metal noises as I'm driving, and once I put these two in, it should be perfect. Right, so this is one of the new bearings, and this is the part number. I got this off one of my trusted American websites, so if anybody wants to use the part numbers or anything. And obviously I don't know where I put my tools, so I've made something. Just cut a piece of metal. So basically I'm gonna fish hook the bearing, damage the old bearing, fish hook it, and just basically pull it out. So let's get this in. Right, I'm just set up with my homemade bearing puller. Let's see, get this thing out. Alright, so it got a bit dark, but my Fab Dabby Uzi got the old bearing out. So out with the old, and then with the new, and then down to number 2. So it got a little bit dark last night, so I couldn't really do much more because the light that I had at the time, not so bright. But I managed to pull the other bearings out, pop the new ones in, and I've just got to finish out now, which I'll show you. Everything is tidied up underneath, and obviously now what we need to do is fill it up with some oil. So let's just put that down there. We need to remove this box. So let's get, I've already loosened this off, so let's get this off. And then this will just come off. A bit difficult to do with one hand, but it's fine. So just put this down here. So as you can see, you've got this plug, and then there's a plug just there, so you can see it. You don't want to fill it out from that one, you want to fill it out from that side. Okay. So what I've done here, obviously, when you get the gear oil, it comes with a built-in tube. I've just put an extended bit of rubber hose just to make it a little bit easier, just to get down in there. Otherwise you're sort of shoving it in at an angle, sort of, you know, sort of just like down there, and you know, it makes it a little bit awkward. You end up spilling oil everywhere. So a little hose, sort of maybe just over a foot long, absolutely fine. Right, so that's all buttoned up, put back together, filled up, and well, that's one job down. And all the next job is, well, let's see. So I'm gonna lock it, and as you can tell, that does not want to move. So next one is rip this door card off. Let's see what the problem is, whether it's a faulty mechanism or, well, it's obviously going to be a fault mechanism or something's popped off. And then this little vent here that's decided to pop off, and then she's ready to rock and roll, I think. What do you guys reckon of this car so far? Nice? Bad? Ugly? Give us a thumbs up in the video or thumbs down. Alright, until then, see you next time.